Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan, coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Now this is just our land back on this video here. Alright. Rent and groceries 2025 is making us choose. Right? Choosing between rent and groceries. Right? Because things are getting harder. Alright? Things are getting harder where it is people are losing their jobs. It is very hard for a lot of people out there to get a job. Alright? The grinding is ceasing. We're seeing that happening more and more. And this is something that we as the prophets of the Lord, we have been warning you people about through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Alright? So without further ado, I'm going to just play this video here. Alright, and I think I have another one I want to show. And we're going to get some scriptures, Lord willing. It will be edifying to the elect of Israel. Alright? Which are the so-called Negroes, the Hispanics, and the Native American Indians today. Which are the Lord's people also, Israel.
Let's talk about the real pandemic. No, not COVID. The one that started after. The I can't afford eggs, rent, or a will to live pandemic. Because apparently, in America 2025, making it means surviving on iced coffee, anxiety, and Klarna grocery payments. Like, how did we get here?
You want to know how bad the economy is? Okay, never once have I really pulled up to Costco for gas. Now I go out of my way to go and pull up to Costco for gas, bruh. That's how bad.
My rent is going up almost $300 a month, okay? I'm confused. I'm lost, dumbfounded. Everywhere in my city, everybody going up in apartments, okay? And these are just one bedrooms. I pay $1,100 a month for one bedroom right now. If I resign my lease, it'd be $1,300, okay? Not including maintenance fees, not including all the utilities and all that stuff. When it's all said and done, I'll be spending $1,600, $1,700 to live there, okay? When all said and done. My thing is, what do these landlords think we're making out here? Okay? Everybody not making all that kind of money like this. I'm a truck driver. As you can see, I'm in the truck right now. Truck drivers don't get raises, okay? They don't get raises. I barely made enough to make 3 times the rent already. But now it's just going up. I don't know what's going to happen. I make $4,000 a month. I don't know. Well, I make that, but after taxes and all that, you know how that go. It's about 36, something like that. I won't be able to afford that place anymore I live at right now. So I got to move. I'm probably considering living in my truck, maybe. Might get a hotel rooms on weekends. If I get a hotels on weekends, I spend $508 a month just for Saturdays and Sundays. That saved me a lot of money, over $1,000 a month, just doing that. Cause I'm gone most of the time anyway. But my big concern is I don't know where these landlords, how they think we out here making all this money to raise the rent down high. We got layoffs going on, and the federal workers are getting laid off. And it just, things gotta change, you know. I refuse to pay that much for one bedroom, so I'm not doing that. I've been looking around.
This is what's going on with Jake right now. Jake trusting in the system. Jake believing that the system will soon change or get better so they could be able to live comfortable. Alright? But this, as we know, the scriptures say, this place is not our rest. Alright? You know, let's get that real quick. This is the book of Micah chapter 2, and verse 10. It says, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. Right? Many people want to trust in this wicked system. All right? That's why people mourning today. When the righteous is an authority, the people rejoice. No one is rejoicing. But when the wicked bear it rule, the people mourn. And this is what we see in a lot of people mourning. A lot of people complaining. All right? Why? Because things are getting harder. All right? We are not, it's not like you could leave from one job to go to our next job. It's not greener on the other side. All right? Same shit every single day you're going to face. Right? It's just one might be a little more worse than the other. All right? But this place is not our rest. All right? Yes, we have to work to get our daily bread and whatnot. But it is not your rest. Who you're supposed to turn to? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right? Get to know your true power. All right? Get to know your true power and let go of these different idols and following these other doctrines and following wickedness. All right? Separate yourself from the world. But this is what Jake don't want to do. They don't want to do that. They don't want to separate themselves from the world because they believe that they will lose a lot of friends and all these different things. Yes, you will lose that. All right? But you're going to find life after you lose all those things of the world. All right? I'm going to get our script here real quick before I forget. The book of Matthew, chapter 16. And it starts from verse 24. It says, Then said Yahushai unto his disciples, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. All right? This is what a lot of people doesn't want to do. They don't want to pick up the cross and follow the Lord. Right? If the Lord did it for us, why can't you do it over for the Lord? Why can't you pick up your cross, take up your burdens, and move? Right? People are too lazy. People are too, they dependent on the things of this world. They're dependent on the government. They're dependent on the system. All right? But if you follow in the Lord's ways, things are going to be correct with you. All right? Verse 25, it says, For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever, Salakia, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Right? So plenty people looking for a different way out, but not realizing that way is going to lead to what? Destruction. All right? So let's jump back to the video real quick. There's some more here.
My city.
Now you're trying to get groceries, but the price of these, I have to decide whether I'm paying rent this month or eating.
Who are these people that are affording groceries, going to the grocery store every week, spending $300, $400 a week, and they're just like, whatever. It's cool. It's pocket change. Seriously, not me. Family of 5. I have little children. Little. They're 12, 10, and 5. I don't even have teens living in my house yet. And I'm just like, just went to Market Basket, spent $338, family of 5. That's pretty good, honestly. Only got $20 of non-food stuff, and the only meat I got was sausage, like turkey sausage links, and chicken. Like for the week, not a lot of chicken. And I'm just like, what? How are we doing it? How are you affording groceries? How are we doing this? I remember being a teen and going to my friend's house, or people come to my house, and we would just like eat all the strawberries, all the chips, drink all the orange juice in one day. I wonder if my parents and their parents were like wanting to like wring our necks at that point, you know, because they're like, that is you just ate $25 in fruit. Obviously, it wasn't $25 then, but you get the point. Are you affording groceries comfortably? Should I get a second job? Should I work more? I don't know.
How is America continuing to build all these ridiculous ass apartment complexes, but charging almost $3,000 for one bedroom? And who in the hell are affording to move into these ridiculously high, overpriced, expensive apartments? The national average salary is like $55,000, something like that. I'm not the best at math, but 56,000 divided by 12 is like $4.6 thousand a month. That's like 75% of your check gone if you're paying $3,000 a month for an apartment. Not to mention you got food, you got electricity bill, got car payment, car insurance, gas. You like to go shopping, get new clothes. God forbid you need a haircut every 2 weeks or you gotta get your hair done. And God forbid you have fucking kids' mouths to feed. That's even double. The average income earner cannot afford these overpriced ass apartments. So who the fuck are they building these apartment complexes for? And what makes it even more hilarious, every single fucking year, these greedy ass landlords continue to increase the rent. So pretty soon, if you haven't already, we're going to be seeing $4,000, $5,000 a month apartment complex prices. And my question is, why do they keep getting away with this? How?
What Jake and them don't understand is that, you know, the landlords and all the feeling it. Alright? No matter if they have a big house or whatever the case may be. You know, you could have a big building, you could have plenty land, you could have all these things. But you don't have no one to stay there. How you think they're making the money? They're making the money by people staying there. So if it is there is nobody to stay there, obviously they're going to raise prices and whatnot because they're not making the income, that they ain't getting the revenue to be able to pay their bills and so forth, right? Because bills are getting higher, right? So basically what ESO is doing, he's interfering with every single person. It's causing a domino effect, right? Where it is people not working, therefore no rent could pay, no groceries could buy, so the groceries are going to feel it, right? The people who, you know, the people who owning the businesses, they're going to feel it, all right? The people who looking for a job, they're going to feel it, all right? So Jake don't understand these things, but I have one more video to show you. Now this video here is basically in Korea. You know, it does show you that all around the world people feeling it. Alright? Everyone feeling it because these devils are in power. Alright, the so-called white man, the top banking families. Alright? They're controlling everything. Okay? So let's check this one out.
Take the notoriously challenging... Korea recently saw over 500,000 students take the notoriously challenging college entrance exam, Sunung, seen as the culmination of years of hard work at school and extra tuition academies. You may have gotten a sense of the lengths people will go to get into one of the best Korean universities from the popular drama Sky Castle. But the sad truth is, after getting to college and graduating, many aren't reaping the rewards. The number of people in their 20s and 30s with at least a 4-year college degree who've been unemployed for over 6 months has reached 35,000, the highest it's been in 13 months, according to Statistics Korea as of last month. In total, 119,000 people were recorded as jobless for over 6 months despite their efforts to find employment, marking the highest figure reached in 4 years, taking us back to pandemic proportions even though there are fewer young people overall to compete. In April, the youth population aged 15 to 29 dropped below the 8 million barrier, and the country's overall employment rate reached an all-time high last month. Experts say...
Now, keep in mind also that a lot of these Chinese also and Koreans, Japanese, these people, they're very overpopulated, especially China, right? And they 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 are also, it have a lot of Israelites over there, all right? It have a lot of the Lord's people there, all right? Because what the scripture say, when Israel is oppressed, right? When they are oppressed, what they do, they multiply, right? So check out the overpopulated countries that is millions and millions and millions of people, right? Check out them, right? It have a lot of Israelites over there, all right? That those are known as what, the speckled birds. They look like the other nations, but really and truly they are the Lord's people, all right?
There's an unresolved job mismatch. The number of people in their 20s and 30s classified as taking a break, as in not actively looking for a job, was recorded at 628,000, the highest it's ever been for the month of October. So you have these highly educated graduates, sometimes from the most prestigious schools like Seoul National, Yonsei, and Korea universities, with expectations for what they think of as a decent job, but there isn't one available. Moreover, there are growing concerns in Korea, like the rest of the world, that the rise of AI will potentially squeeze the job market even further down the line, which is causing many to be concerned about their future, regardless of
Right, so it's showing you that
how well they scored on.
It really don't make sense, going them kind of schools and trying to get the degree and all these things, because what he's so doing, he's basically taking everything from you, right? This is what this devil is doing. All right, he's taking every single thing from you. So you can't, everything that you do is just vanity and what, vexation of spirits. Right? So let's go back into some scriptures. Let's get the book of Ecclesiastes. Chapter 1 and verse 14. It says, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirits. Right? This is what's going on here. So you working hard, blood, sweat, tears, and all these things just to make an honest dollar, to be able to try to make it, to be able to try to get what you had to get. All right, so lucky. I know how to do something there. All right. So the book of Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 14, again, it says, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun. Where you're living under the sun. All right. You're not living out in space or anything. You're living under the sun. You're living on earth here. All right. And it says, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Right. So it have a lot of people out there who trying to make it and whatnot, but we saw make it very hard. All right. Years back was okay, because things was working out for people and whatnot. All right. And this is the outcome of that when you have someone that is wicked ruling over the earth. All right. When the wicked is under authority, the people mourn. Right. So what Esau is showing here right now, he's coming with a digital system. All right. Digital money, a one world government, a one world order. This is what Esau is planning right now. He already have it planned. He already have it sorted out. And this is him rolling it out. Right? To bring what? To bring people to the back against the wall, where it is they will have no choice but to go out and steal, to go out and to do folly, right? To commit murder and all these different things. Alright? Salakia. Alright, Salakia again. Alright, so let's come here now. Let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and verse 9. It says, they that put their trust in him, who's him? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? Shall understand the truth. Alright? And this is the reason why we as the men of the Lord, we as the men of the Lord is here today. Alright? Because we put our trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? It says, and such as be faithful in love shall abide in him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he has care for his elect. Alright? This is why we call ourselves the hopeful elect also. Alright? Because we believe that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is his name. We believe in also his son's name, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Right? We believe that also we are going to, get saved out of this wicked place. Right? We believe many things. We believe in the things that are not seen. Alright? We have faith. And this is why we do this work for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright? It says verse 10, but the ungodly shall be punished. Right? Who's the ungodly? The ungodly is the ones that are facing these different things right now. We all facing it. Right? But we, as the men of the Lord, the hopeful elect, we understand why these things are happening. We understand that the end is coming near. Right? But the ungodly, they're not understanding these things. They think that everything is going to be good very soon. They trust in Egypt. Right? It says, but the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations. Right? Which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. For whoso despised wisdom and nature, he is miserable, and their hope is in vain. Right? The hope is in vain. And what the scriptures say here, they're miserable. This is the kind of people you're seeing right now. A lot of miserable people. They're not understanding why all these things happening. They think that it have a future out there. They think that they have a future for them. They're going to get married. They're going to have kids. They're going to, see their children grow up. They're going to continue for another 50 years, another 100 years, another 500 years. We're not in that kind of mindset anymore. Right? What we see destruction coming. Yes, we see in our future. The future, what we see is the end of Babylon. The end of Esau kingdom. Right? This is what we see in. And what coming after that? We will be in the kingdom from there. Alright? With Yahweh Shai ruling, who the world is ignorantly called Jesus. Alright? So let's continue here. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 11, it says, for whoso despiseth wisdom and nature, he is miserable, and their hope is vain. Their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable. Right? So all the labors that you go through, trying to get a good job, you're trying to go to school and get good education and all these things to do what? To get paper, to get paperwork, to get a job. Sometimes you have so much paperwork that you're overqualified. And I'm sure many of you all went through that already. So it's like you're just wasting your time. You have to go and downgrade yourself. Right? which it doesn't make no kind of sense, right? Verse 12, it says, their wives are foolish and their children wicked. Their offsprings is cursed. Wherefore, blessed is the barren that undefiled, which has not known the sinful bed. She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls, and blessed is the Salakia, and blessed is the eunuch, which is Salakia, which with his hands has wrought no iniquity, nor imagined wicked things against power, for unto him shall be given the special gift of faith and an inheritance in the temple of the Lord Yahushai, more acceptable to his mind. Right? So the elect is going to be taken care of. Right? The elect is going to be taken care of. These people right now, they believe in what? Vain help. Right? These things, everything right now turning into to evil for them. Right? Everything is turning into evil for them. All the things that you find was good in the world, all right, the type of food you was eating and whatnot, which is not good at all, excuse me, but people lead to that, they lean on to those things, right? The scriptures say we will eat defiled foods among the Gentiles, right? We will be eating these type of foods around these heathens and whatnot. Okay? But these same type of foods is going to turn into what? Evil to many of you people. Right? The renting and whatnot, all these things are turning into evil. Alright? Because things are what? Skyrocketing. It have a lot of inflations because all the tariffs and all these things that this cruel lord, also known as Donald Trump, also known as Nero, right? He's coming down cruel onto all these other nations, right? So he's causing problems. So let's get one more script here quick before I close it off. Let's go to the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39 and verse 23. It says, as he has turned the waters into saltiness, so shall the heathen so shall the heathen inherit his wrath. Right? Because all the things that going on right now for Jacob, Jake going through problems and whatnot, we also seeing these heathens, going through the same problems. Right? Everything is translating onto them now. The tables is turning. So the things that these heathens was laughing and mocking against Israel with saying, well, the so-called black and the so-called Negroes and the Hispanics, they can't find a way, they always poor, they never have money, they could never do this and never do that. Things are coming on to them now. Alright? As the saying does go, who laugh last, laugh the best. Alright? And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to laugh at everyone calamity when it cometh. Alright? Verse 24 it says, as his ways are plain upon table unto the holy, alright, Salakia, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. Right? Let me read over that again. It says, verse 25, for the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt. flour of wheat, honey, milk, and blood of the grapes, and oil and clothing, right? So you can't get a job, you can't be able to buy and do these things. So these things are going to do what? Turn into evil for many of these jakes out there and also those heathens, right? Everyone is going to feel the brunt. Everybody is going to go through it. And this is Esau plans. This is really the Lord plan, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai plan. But he's using his sword, all right, on the left hand side, which is who? Esau Edom, to bring forth all these different calamities and these problems. That's why you're seeing so many things happening, right? Verse 27, it says, all these things are for good to the godly, right? Because the Lord is going to make it in a way where he's going to make sure his servants eat and they drink, right? But for the ungodly, they are going to perish, right? With famine, with war, and running into people's homes and getting deleted. Why? Because of the lack of bread, right? It says all these things are for the good, are for good to the godly. So to the sinners, they are turned into evil, right? Many things are turned into evil for these sinners, the ungodly, the ones that don't believe, all right? And this is why you have to hold on strong to this truth and trust and believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right? So with that, I will end it there. Lord willing, this lesson here was edifying to the elect of Israel. I'd like to give all praises and all glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom.